Alright, so with the game having a crazy amount of units now, I thought making a list of characters for new players to watch out for is finally called for. This list, like I just mentioned, is mainly for newer players. If you have been playing the game for a long time, you probably have an idea of what characters to look out for dupes or characters that you don't have. But newer players I've been seeing a decent influx of since the anniversary, and now with the newer global anniversary and the release of Demon King, again, a decent influx of newer players coming to my channel. So this is just a list of characters that if you see on a banner, that character gives the banner value. And if you pull the character, it's worth working on for a reason or another. And each and every character that I mentioned in this video, I'll explain why. And the list doesn't have a priority per se, like the first one is worse than the last one. But I will be dividing in sections. First, festival units. So we'll start the festival units with Trader Meliodas, because Trader Meliodas is one of the most versatile characters for new players for sure. He can be used in about any PvE activity, and I mean it. Any PvE activity, he is good or the best option. If he's not the best, he's at the very least good. So Trader Meliodas is a character that will bring up any and every single free-to-play account or newer account, and he's very easy to build. He just works anywhere, and he is not very good in PvP, but with a potential new Holy Relic, that could change. Purgatory Meliodas is also another Meliodas, but he is more of a PvP character. The Demon team right now, with the release of the Demon King, is, I want to say, the team that's going to be surviving the longest in terms of the PvP meta. So having Purgatory Meliodas is very, very good. There is a possibility for the December festival to be a new Meliodas that's going to overshadow him, but we don't know. So for the time being, I think it is worth it. There are minor PvE activities that he's also really good for, but the PvP landscape calls for demons. So him and Festival Estarossa are two characters that you should look out for in banners, because the Demon team, I would say, has the potential to last for a long, long time. And these are PvP characters, both him, Festival Estarossa, and now the new Festival Demon King are definitely three Festival characters that, if they are in the banner and you don't have them, it will heavily increase your chances of getting champ in PvP if you are a new player. Another festival that I think is really good for newer players to look out for is the One Ultimate. Similar to Trader Meliodas, he's a character that is good for about every single PvE activity. Maybe not every single PvE activity, but he's good in majority of PvE, and he is a decent flexible option in PvP still, with the potential of maybe in the future, if humans get a more variety of options for PvP, he's also very good. I will say that although I wouldn't add to my list, Ban is one of those options, the new anniversary festival Ban. I do not think that he is a character for new players that's actually all that good, because the teams that he's built for aren't very good for new players. You know, they include LRs, which are very inaccessible for new players. So I wouldn't say the Festival Bond, like LR Ascanor and LR Lost Vein, those are characters that I would not, as a new player, be looking for, because they are very much unachievable for new players. So in terms of humans, the One Ultimate is the best bet for any new player. Although not very impressive much for highly difficult PvE activities or PvP, I think Festival King is also a phenomenal character to have. The farming speed for this guy is really, really good. I'm not including any more farmers in this list, because the farming for lower tier activities isn't very hard. But King is in a different level, where he's not only good for farming, he's also good for general PvE activities. Like right now, he is, I think, one of the best characters to have for cheesing activities, like Tower, which is about to be removed, but Final Boss is the most recent Final Boss, is one that is very hard, but if you have King, he cheeses it, so King is a very good option to have for anyone starting off the game, because your best bet of beating activities will not be with skill or whatever, it's going to be by cheesing them. And I'll end off the festivals to look out for with Light Liz. The only reason why I'm actually adding her here is because she's generally good for points, and if you're looking for teams or characters that will help out get placements on, let's say, final bosses or guild boss, she is a character that you will most likely need. So Light Liz is definitely something to look out for, alongside, you know, if you're talking about final boss, Margaret. Definitely more on the side of Light Liz because of the points scoring, but Margaret is also a character that will give you scores. I would say guild boss scoring definitely doesn't need these characters, so they're on the lower priority for the festival units, but scoring in the game ends up being a highly needed thing, and if you're looking for high scores, they will provide for majority of these point activities. Now, moving out of festival units, I'm just going to be looking towards characters that can be acquired unfeatured in banners and or are in the SSR tickets. Red Tarmiel, he is in SSR tickets, so whatever SSR ticket you have, just use the SSR ticket and hope that you pull Red Tarmiel. He is the all-encompassing unit. You use him in every single activity in the game, no exaggeration, because of his link. That when a character gets attacked and he is the link of that character, they immediately heal, and is just the most overpowered link in the game. So having him and having him at high dupes is very necessary. He's also good for points, but that is one of the things that he does. The biggest thing really is the link. If you don't have Retarmio, your account is significantly worse. It's crazy. Kali is a character that if she's unfeatured in a banner, I wouldn't say, you know, oh, you must pull on that banner, but if you do pull her, it's a great thing. She's generally good for a lot of PvE activities. Sometimes she is like good on the PvP meta, like she's on and off. Right now, she is really good on the meta, but I wouldn't count that as a forever thing. She'll probably fall off really soon. But Skadi is a very generally good character to have, so it's worth working on if you pull her. Tyr is insane. It's insane. He's insane. Demon Kusok should eventually come to SSR tickets, but right now he is not. And to fulfill the whole demon team, he is most certainly a character you want to have. He is a 4th, so he's going to be the back unit for the demon team. And his passive is essentially just providing the demon team with lowering the enemy's crit damage and crit chance, which is great, and also giving them attack, giving your team attack-related stats. There is a possibility that we're going to be getting a better support unit soon, because demons will likely keep getting updated. You know, they don't just release a new festival for demons without dropping more support units, but for the time being, the time of recording, he's definitely a character you want to have. Although you need her relic, it's not too hard to get the relic, because it will just take time. It will take a few weeks. You just need to go into the activity and you get a few. Both Freyas, both the red and green Freya, are very important to have if you want to beat the demonic beast. Ideally, you want to be using her with a goddess team on the demonic beast, but you don't need to. I think that there are better, more accessible teams for it, that I will mention one of the characters, which is Red Megelde. Is definitely a character that if you see her unfeatured and you pull her, it's great because she can be used in about every single demonic beast. And there is a leak of a new game mode that she can possibly be very good on, which is a game mode that have you playing all demonic beasts back to back with the same team. That's what it seems like. So definitely a character that's very good to have. She's very like, there's one thing she's good at, but the one thing she is good at, then you're going to be using her a lot. That goes as well for Jormungandr. She is a character specifically for the deer demonic beast. If you pull her, that's great. If you don't have her, the deer demonic beast is honestly not even worth playing. So only play that beast after you pull her. And there's also Blue Megelde, which is not as big of a deal, having or not having, but it's really nice to have. I would say if you have the red Megelde, I wouldn't worry about blue, because you can actually use... You can actually, I mean, if you just have the good characters, you don't even need the Blue Megelde anyways, but these specific for demonic beast characters are very nice to have, so if you do pull her, it's very nice to upgrade and use her on the bird beast. Next up, we have Zaneri. This is a character that is very specific. She only does one thing, which is Belmoth Demon. But considering it's an activity that you probably will be running every single day, it's really nice to have. If you are the person that's going to be running Zaneri, you end up being very valuable. But if you don't have her, it's chill. You can bring either an AI that has Zaneri, or you can just have someone that you invite that has her, but it's important to have at least one on the raid team, so having her just makes you more valuable as a teammate. Now, the following characters I'm going to mention have already been given out for free, but if you miss them, then you missed them, and they might end up being given out for free again, but we don't know when. So if you do pull them on a banner, don't be like, oh, this character's already been given out for free. Maybe they'll come back as a free character again, because we've seen that before. But Freyr is a character you definitely want to have. He is just like, Trillium Alley I mentioned, like he's good for about every PvE activity in the game. If you do manage to get his Holy Relic as well, it's like a phenomenal Holy Relic. He works super well with so many characters. It's just a fantastic character. But he has been given out for free. So if you already have him because you got him for free, dupes of him are great. So, still keep pulling for him. It's not like that stops. Same goes for some other characters from Ragnarok as well. Again, all these characters I'm going to be mentioning have been given out for free because the game knows that accounts need them. And honestly, these characters should be given out for free regardless of when you start the game. Red Tonar is a necessary character for dogs. I think that, dogs, just like I mentioned with Snake, with Jormungandr, if you don't have this character, it's not even worth playing dogs. So you definitely do want to have her. Green Brynhildr is a generally good character in the game. She's not specifically the best for anything, but she's good in a lot of PvE activities, and a lot of activities call for using her, like including the newest final boss, Kusok. She ends up being the best point maker for it, so she's a character that is going to enhance your PvE by a lot. The red version of Red Hair Liz is a character that enhances your farming for anvils and or Super Awakening coins with the time capsule by a lot. So having her is, I wouldn't say a must. You can definitely still do those things without her, but being able to just auto the activity, especially if you end up accumulating like 5 or more, very nice. So this character is just a very, very nice character to have. Summer DN will be a character that will be helping out in pretty much any Neo Annihilation that comes out. The current hardest boss, or raid boss, is the original demon, and she is optimal for it. But even then, whenever a new activity comes out that is a raid type thing, Summer DN is always going to be the best option, so long as you can run her, because she's red. Maybe there's like a hell one, and you can't run red units, like the newest one we just got. But in any case, if she can be run on a raid, she is the best option. And last but not least, a character is going to be forever good. If not, whenever he was the best unit in the game, we would have imagined that he would still be good years and years and years later. Halloween Galfer is just a character that is generally good. There are so many activities in the game that call for him. Right now, I would say, he's not like a character you need to have anymore. That time of the game has passed. He's been given out for free like multiple times now, right? But if you don't have him yet and you pull him, very great character to have, generally good PvE character. So that is about that. So the list ends here. There are other characters that are good, right? I'm not just mentioning only like good characters. Like Nanashi is a very good character, but would I say that a new player should pull for him when you need the Holy Relic to make him even remotely work? I don't know about that. And same for like a character like, for example, Mael. He's a very generally good character, but he's mainly a PvP character. Or if you have him 6/6, he's good for Snake. But again, the Goddess team, kind of on the decline. Do I really think that people should be summoning for a character like this? I don't know. So that's about it.